good morning, and happy Tuesday. Welcome to Graduan Aspire 2022. I am Karisma from Team Graduan, and right now you are tuned in to our second session of the day, which is a webinar session with Great Eastern. I'm pretty sure many graduates out there have this issue where you don't know which pathway is the best for you, because let me tell you, I was one in that position too. So, well, the good thing is that our speakers from Great Eastern is going to share with you on how to find your pathway. I know everyone can't wait for this session already, so let me introduce you to our speakers for today. All right, so first of all, we have Kavina, the Talent Acquisition Associate. And then we have Nur Arisha, Employer Branding and Employee Engagement Associate. And lastly, we have Rachel Go, Strategic Business Development Unit Associate. So ladies, maybe a quick introduction from you guys before we start the session. Maybe we can start off with Arisha.
All right. Thanks, Karisma, for the wonderful introduction. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for coming. My name is Arisha Asnel. You can call me Arisha. I'm, as she said, Employer Branding, Employee Engagement. I've been in Great Eastern for roughly 3.5 years, coming into my 4th year. Yeah, it's been a long journey. And just a rough background, even though I'm employer branding and employee engagement, I actually have a degree in financial mathematics. So it's a bit off.
Right. All right. Maybe next we can go to Rachel.
Hi everyone. Good morning. I'm Rachel Go. You can call me Rachel. I'm from Strategic Business Development Unit in Great Eastern. It's been my 1 and 3 months year. 1 year, 3 months now, around that range. And yeah, I hope I'm here today and we all can connect together. If you have any questions, pertaining Great Eastern or even fresh grad, how do you want to, go along as a fresh grad kind of thing? Yeah, I'm here to assist you.
That's great. All right, and lastly, we have Kavina.
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Kavina Syrapragasem. You guys can just call me Kavina. And I'm currently a Talent Acquisition Associate in Human Capital. Arisha and I are actually desk neighbors. We sit side by side. And I'm also a Great Eastern Scholar together with Rachel, who I'm currently sitting side by side with. And also a little bit of background about myself. I graduated with a degree in psychology from the National University of Malaysia. And I'm also the recent Royal Education Award winner. And I'm really excited for this session. And I hope that we can learn many things from each other. And I'm really excited to share and also to hear the stories from both Arisha and Rachel. So yeah.
Great introduction, speakers. So now that we've known a little bit about our speakers, maybe we can move forward with the question session. Are you guys ready for it? Yeah? Okay. So I'll start off with the first question. What did you do before pursuing your present line of work? Maybe any one of you guys can answer first?
Okay, I can take this since I have the most years in my pocket.
Yeah.
So basically, I shortly after I finished my degree in International Islamic University in Malaysia, IIUM, I straight away went into Management Associate Program in Great Eastern. So just a bit of a background about Management Associate. It's a 2-year program where you are able to rotate to different departments. So for me, I joined Management Associate. I was able to rotate to various departments, which included Strategic Business Development Unit, which is currently where Rachel is. And also, I was able to rotate to Brands and Communications. I was able to rotate to Human Capital, which I am currently permanently in. So that's a bit about where I was during the Management Associate. And when I finished the program, I decided to permanent in employer branding and employee engagement. So yeah, it was a long journey coming to the conclusion of human capital. But yes, I'll get into more detail of what happened in between with mathematical background ending up in human capital. But yeah, that's basically what I was doing before I was in human capital.
Great. All right. So maybe either Rachel or Kavina would like to answer this too.
I think so. I'll just carry on from Arisha. So to answer that question, right? I was actually studying. I, I just graduated last year November. So I've been with Great Eastern for the past 9 months. Yeah, around 9 months. And but just to share, before I got into my permanent placement in Great Eastern. So I was actually a Great Eastern scholar for 3 years. Great Eastern actually funded my entire degree in UKM, and I was actually involved with a lot of initiatives done by the L&D team. Like we went for camps and we got to experience the annual dinner and a lot of initiatives that we were involved in. So that was the start of how we were exposed to the Great Eastern culture. And then I actually got the opportunity to do my internship with Great Eastern, and so happened I did my internship with the talent acquisition team. So I spent about 3 months together with them, and that's when I learned a lot about recruitment in terms of scouting talent, identifying what kind of candidate would be suitable for the roles that we are looking for. And eventually, after I graduated in November, then I got a placement in talent acquisition team. So it happened very nicely. So yeah, so if I were to take my internship experience as well, I've been in talent acquisition for almost a year already. Next week will be a year. So that's a little bit about how I came about before being in Great Eastern. So yeah.
Yeah, I think, if you don't mind, I want to add on a few points from Kavina's side. So I think Kavina has said just now that we are both scholars. So we are kind of like, we straight after our graduation, we came to Great Eastern to work. So actually, for me, previously also I was studying. Okay, per se, I mean I was studying, and I also get the opportunity to join Great Eastern for my internship, which is at Digital Affinity. Okay, it's a digital marketing site in Great Eastern. So I would say, like, before coming to here, I've learned a lot of soft skills in terms of when I was in internship. I learned a lot of soft skills and some of the skills that helped me and to further furnish me for me at Strategic Business Development Unit right now in Great Eastern. So I would say Great Eastern for me, from internship jump to my permanent placement, it was nicely path in a way. People were very nice, very understanding, very kind. They helped us, they brushed us, and they basically developed us, helped us grow in a way that, when I was in SBDU, as in Strategic Business Development Unit, I didn't really feel overwhelmed in a way because, the culture here is quite nice for me. Yeah.
Great. So now we know that two of them got in since internship, and Arisha got into management associate, right? All right. So moving on to the next question. What inspired you guys to venture into this pathway? Maybe we can get, just now Arisha went first, right? Maybe now we can get Kavina.
Okay, all right. I actually like this question. So thank you, Charisma, for letting me speak first.
No worries.
All right. So to going back, if I were to touch base on my degree in psychology, right? So the reason why I took a degree in psychology was because I was very interested to understand about the human mind and behavior, and I'm very passionate about it. So human interaction was something that really, it's like a burning desire in me. Like I really want to communicate with people, to understand more about why they make certain decisions, why they do certain behaviors, and so on. So, and talent acquisition gave me that opportunity to actually really engage and connect with the candidates, with the hiring managers, and with human capital itself. And that was a really good exposure for me because it gave me the opportunity to learn about people. It really gave me the opportunity to really use the knowledge that I learned in psychology, from as simple as basic communication skills, having providing a safe space for hiring managers to share their justifications, providing a safe space for candidates to share their reasons for applying, or even if they were to turn us down, their reasons to turn us down, and so on. It became a very meaningful experience, and that until today, it's one of my highlight in talent acquisition, being able to have that meaningful connection with different stakeholders. And it's been a very wonderful journey. I feel like from the beginning of starting my degree in psychology and wanting to be involved in understanding human interaction, human behavior, and all that, and now being in talent acquisition and seeing how the real life experience is going on, like it's maybe meaningful could be an understatement. Like it's a very very fulfilling experience. So yeah, and it's also something like one of my, like I've had a conversation with Arisha before this about my experience in talent acquisition, and one of it is I try my best to actually give a positive, a meaningful experience for the candidates. And it's something like, for example, like when I did my internship, I also wanted a very good and positive experience. So when now I'm being placed in talent acquisition, I feel like it'll be great if I can turn around and contribute back to the candidates and make sure that they have that meaningful experience. Even though if, let's say, they're not shortlisted for the role, the entire process of from the moment we call them and tell them that you have been shortlisted for an interview up till the very end, if I can give that meaningful experience to them, I think it's a big win. It's a big personal win for me. So it's been, a very wonderful journey so far. Yeah.
That's really nice to hear. And I think that, getting to give someone a meaningful experience gives us the satisfaction too.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you get the opportunity to not just professionally build a relationship with them, but also on a personal level, you get to build very good friendships with them. And it's nice, when people say, "Hey, Kavina, I remember you." Like, that's a nice feeling. Yeah.
I totally agree with that. That's so true. All right. So maybe Rachel or Arisha wants to add on to that.
Yeah, sure. I can add on to that. But before that, can I ask what is the question again? Because I think Kavina's answer was so good that I just like go all over the place. I was just listening to her.
No worries. I can repeat the question whenever you want. So the question was, what inspired you to venture into this pathway?
Okay, that is actually a very good question. Okay, for me personally, I don't think if I covered this just now. I have studied communications in for my tertiary education at Sunway University. So for me, communication is something that is very broad and very big, and it's very big skill kind of thing. And honestly, to Eastern with communications, I was quite lost in a sense where I'm not sure what is the best way to communicate, or like what is the best way to actually use communication in the field kind of thing. But when I was actually when I was having my probation in this SBDU, Strategy Business Development Unit, I realized that in my unit, in my department itself, we have a lot of things where we develop people. We try to train people in terms of like training, giving them product talks, product training, giving them some briefing in terms of like what is happening in our company and what is happening, what are the products that we are selling right now. So for me, having this kind of relationship with the agency side, like the agency force, it is very meaningful because I get to have an opportunity to meet new people. At the same time, I have the opportunity to develop them. Okay, in a sense where I mean, in a way where when we develop people, when we try to give out something, when we try to teach people something, we also get something in return. There's always this two-way, this two-way communication, two-way things when we try to learn and develop people and stuff like that. So that for me is something that inspire me lah. In a way, I find this a very interesting thing for me because I love developing, I love talking to people, I love to just have this kind of connection with people. So that is one. And then secondly, one thing that inspired me a lot is previously, before I joined Great Eastern, I've also done a lot of community stuff. Like in Sunway University, I've joined like a lot of all this student body kind of thing. So at that side, that point, I get to learn leadership program, skills, soft skills. How do you want to lead a team? How do you want to, have people to enjoy our program, stuff like that? And how do we want to really develop people? That is the main thing. So when I come with these skill sets to Great Eastern, okay, when with all the skill sets, like when I enter Great Eastern, I feel that it is something that inspired me a lot. Where how do I say this? Where all this leadership skills are, all this developing people's skills are, when it comes to Great Eastern, is so meaningful in a sense where I get to, share my experiences, okay, to the people around me. Okay, at the same time, I get to use these skills, okay, in terms of my daily work tasks. How do I want to communicate with people? How do I want to send out a certain communication and announcement to people? How do I want to make a communication flyer or stuff like that to the people around me? So that for me is something that inspired me and made me come to work every day. That's my point.
I mean, just by hearing what you said, I can already tell that you enjoy doing whatever you're doing right now, right?
Yeah, very. Yes, that's true.
Arisha, sorry? Oh, you have, you can continue.
That's true. I mean, for me, I think one thing to the graduates out there, fresh grads out there, is you need to really find something that you're passionate with. You need to enjoy, okay? Something that will make you, motivates you to go out or to wake. I mean, the fact that you want to wake up every day to go to the office, you need to find that passion, that fire, that key, okay? So, you have a long way to go, but it's good to know what you are passionate about and what you love, and then try to find or craft your pathway from there. Now to our Arisha, dear Arisha.
Okay, I don't know how to follow that. 2 stories. I'll try. So basically for me, I finished my degree in mathematics. At that time, I wasn't really 100% in my heart with that, like in the sense where I loved what I was doing, like I enjoyed my degree, but I wasn't certain if that was a career pathway that I should venture. So that's why I chose management associate, because it gave me the opportunity to rotate to different departments where, if I apply directly, not necessarily I would be accepted because of my background. So I was like, okay, I think I need to find my fire, like Rachel said. So I need to find my passion, what exactly I was interested in. So when I rotated to the different departments, and I did fall in love with 2 specific departments, brands and communication, and also employer branding. But in a sense, both have the very similar job scope. In a sense, it's all about the creativity. It's all about the content and what initiatives you can put out on. So those are the 2 departments where I fell in love. So I essentially found out like, okay, this is the type of work that I really do enjoy. And this is where I want to pursue my career in. So like for me, the program itself really benefited in a way where I was able to get to know myself, who I really wanted to be in this professional pathway. So not so long of a story, but in a sense, yes, it's a very simple story of like, sometimes I know I'm not alone in this. There are a lot of people who, coming out of your degree, not knowing where exactly you want to go, not knowing if you should really pursue what you want to do in your degree. So coming from a person who felt that as well, don't worry. something will come your way and you'll find your fire eventually. But you have to be patient with yourself and be open enough to explore different opportunities for you to find it.
You know what, Arisha? I was in the same situation as you were. Like yeah, after I graduated, I was like, do I really want to do this? So I was like, no. Then I found my way and I applied for a few jobs that weren't related to what I studied, just to find which one that I feel like I'm more suitable in. And now I'm here. All right, so moving on to the next question. It's, what were some expectations you had before you embark on this journey? So who wants to answer first, or maybe anyone? Rachel?
Yeah, I was trying to unmute. I was really a uni kid. I was just doing like a lot of committee stuff, like student body stuff. So I really don't know, or I really have no idea what it's like to come out to the industry or come out to the society, which I think a lot of fresh grads out there will relate to me, because it was really it was quite a scary step to step out for me when I first had to step out. And I remember it was still in MCO. It was during the MCO period. So even more like, I feel very like, what's going to happen? What is it to work in a corporate world, or what is it to be like if I want to work in a company kind of thing. So for me, expectation wise, like I said, I really focus on having something that I'm very passionate about, something that I will love, enjoy doing it. And then I will not feel like I come to just for the sake of working. I want to feel like, I come today because I can change not the world, but at least a part of the world, or just a little bit, a contribution to the society kind of thing. And that for me is one of the motivation. One of my own expectation that I set for myself is to find something I love, find something that I'm passionate about. And then secondly, my expectation was more to, as a fresh grad, was more to be loyal, to our learning curves, than looking at the position, or looking at the salary, or looking at all this intangible, like all this uncontrollable thing. Because for me, as a fresh grad, we need to know, at this point of time, we want to learn and absorb everything we can, because we are just out from the society. And for that, a lot of people cannot be loyal or cannot be consistent with their learning curves. A lot of people will look at, I want to do this because they're paying me this. I want to do this because the position is higher. But doing that, or having this kind of position or time, money or like position, will it actually give you that kind of development or learning experience that you should have as a fresh grad? So that is something we need to take note of for me. So at the time when I first joined my team as PDU, I was a bit like, damn, culture shock, man. Like, what's happening? That kind of feeling, because it was so new to me, and I don't know, like, am I able to cope with that kind of thing? So I try my best, my level best, to learn more things, to take up more stuff that I have interest on, to learn, and then to, like I said, be loyal to your learning curves. So expectation wise, for me, I focus on these two things. So first is, what was it again? Right, passion, fire. And secondly, to be loyal, and to be loyal to your learning pathway and learning curves, right?
Mm-hmm. And also, one thing from your whatever you said just now is, we have to be open to learning new things, right? In order for us to move further, we have to want to know more.
Yeah, that's
All right.
We need to be able to open ourselves to learn new things, instead of just, I don't want to do, I'm scared, I cannot, like that kind of thing, right? Agree.
Yeah, like, don't limit ourselves to learning new things. Mm-hmm. All right, who wants to go next?
I think I can carry on from Rachel, and I would like to actually highlight certain things that she shared as well. The first being about the learning curve, which I think is an extremely valuable thing to have in your mind when we okay, we're gonna graduate. The next phase is the working world. What are we gonna do? There's so many uncertainties, right? So, but having that mindset of whatever I choose, the main goal is to learn as much as possible. It really positions ourselves in a very, how you say it? A very, like, we are very open now. We're not just limited. And I think that changes the entire game. Like one of the things, like if I were to like give a simple example in university, I'm sure that there are certain subjects, right, that till today we have no idea why we take that subject, but we just have to do it, right? So going back to that, right, even back in my uni days, I also had subjects where I feel like, is this necessary? but having that mindset of like, okay, I still have to take this subject, right? But what is one thing I can learn from it? I think that made the difference in the entire experience of learning that subject. And it's the same way in how we can look when we are wanting to explore the working world. Because the working world is it's a whole different field. What we know back in our university days and how we're going to be in the working world is totally different. And having that mindset of what is one thing I can learn from this makes the difference. And even when I was when I had the whole experience of being in talent acquisition, I also had an interest in L&D. And so L&D was also actually one of my options, which I really wanted to venture into because I really like training, developing people and all that. And I got an opportunity in talent acquisition. So I asked myself, what is something I can learn from talent acquisition? So, and because of that, that's when I realized, like, oh my God, there's so many wonderful things I can learn from talent acquisition. And who knows, maybe in the future, when I do get an opportunity to explore L&D, I can use the skills, the knowledge, the experience gained from talent acquisition and incorporate it into L&D to give more meaningful experience to the stakeholders. And that's something that Rachel highlighted very well. And it's something that I feel really, really opens our perspective and gives us an opportunity to really explore. The other one is about limiting ourselves. And I like to see the human mind like the universe. There's so little that we know about it, right? And because of that few percent that we know about how things work, it also tells us that there are so many more untapped potential that we have yet to discover. And by allowing ourselves to explore, to make mistakes, to be okay, to know that there are things that we don't know, allows us to explore all this hidden potential. Just like how Arisha, from a mathematic background, she found her like an interest in creating content. And if I may share, her contents are really good. I was like, yeah, I'm one here to say that really, really good work she has been doing. And that's only because she gave herself the opportunity to explore, to go and venture into those mysterious places in her mind. And then she found out that, oh my God, I love content creating. And that's another thing that I find that is extremely important to have. And going back to having expectations, right? So one thing that my parents, like, they always advise us that as much as expectations give us something to hope for, expectations can also serve as a barrier. In the sense, it could be a form of limitation if we set our expectation for to achieve this kind of thing, but then tengok we don't achieve it, we don't get it, it doesn't fulfill us. And so it has two ways to it. So if I were to look at it, it's how can we embrace whatever opportunity that comes to us? How can we fully embrace it? And yeah, that's something that I wanted to highlight. And maybe Arisha, you want to add on?
Thanks, girl, for hyping me up. Oh yeah, I do agree with you, like 100%. When I started this journey, I was exactly the same as all of you. Like fear, anxiety, they all were there. Like we were like embarking on something so different than what we were used to. So like it's a natural feeling, feeling where, you might let some people down, you might, make some mistakes. That's exactly what we all felt. And coming into this journey, especially for me, I was embarking on something completely different than what I was used to. Like I was coming from pure analytical, and then suddenly I pushed myself to explore this creative side in me. It was a scary feeling. Like I was a lot of hesitant came from like taking that leap of faith, but I don't regret. I do not regret it at all. It was like one of the best decisions that I made for myself, and I feel like this is where I belong, and this is where I want to thrive. So, like for me, in a way that I want to thrive is by experience and also technical skills. So currently, I'm actually pursuing my MBA just to make sure that I have the essential background to cover such field. And I wouldn't have known to pursue such a master's if not for the steps that I took when I was younger. So yeah, I think I would say that, some of the expectations might not be met and some of it might be excelled even. You might go over your expectations. So yeah, Kavina's right. Don't limit yourself with what you expect. Try to, exceed it. And if you don't, it's okay. It might not be, what you expect in the first place. Your expectation was based off of your experience as a graduate, not as a working individual. So in some scenarios it might not be applicable anymore. So yeah, don't take it too hard on yourself.
I agree with whatever you ladies said. That was very true. And I feel like I can relate to whatever you guys said too. All right. So moving on to the next question. I think you've already briefly explained about this question, but maybe you can brief in more detail. So could you guys describe your journey to this point? Okay.
Okay, maybe I can try. So
Okay.
basically, my journey has been a roller coaster, to put it simply. I think because I had rotated in very different departments. First, I was in strategic business, and then I went into strategy, and then I went to branding. So with each transition, you have to adapt yourself to a different culture. Like even though it's the same organization, each department have their own way of working, have their own way of understanding each other, and the way they work is completely different. Of course, the style of work and the work itself is different already. So you have to understand that each department has their own culture and environment, and you have to adapt yourself. And that was my main challenge when it came to trying to fit myself not only in the organization but each and every department. So it was a double whammy of like a challenge for me, but I managed to, in a way it's a blessing. I not only was able to adapt myself, and I was actually also able to understand the organization as a whole, as in like what a department A influences department B and results in C. So like each department has their own job, and it cascades to different departments. So like in doing so, I was able to understand like my work, how it does it influence the organization, how important is it to the organization. So even though it is a challenging task, but I think it's really when you step back and you see, it's a very fulfilling type of work you wanna achieve. So yeah, and then once I found out that okay, my passion is here, I was already at the time in human capital, so I was in employer branding and employee engagement. So my work really revolves on setting a benchmark to our image, ensuring that everyone, employees are recognized, and also being able to promote how our culture is and how we would, we will want to be projected as. So it's fun, like not only attending the career fairs but also organizing the career fairs. So I get to see both sides of the coin, So it's really nice being in this, understanding your own capabilities and being in a culture where you fit well and enjoy. Yeah.
True. I feel like once you know which area you are most capable at, you will do it the most.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So anyone else wants to add to that, or?
Right, I will go first because
Okay, sure.
right. I think I can actually agree with what Arisha said just now, because for me personally also, I wouldn't say it is like the smoothest, or like I have like a smooth journey kind of thing when I first joined, because there are a lot of up and down. It was like there were waves, there were like curves and all these different shapes when I joined. But one thing that one thing that I'm very grateful about Great Eastern is the people here. I would say the people here, the colleagues, okay, the peers I have, the mentors and the buddies we call, are very understanding. They're all very kind. Although, sometimes at work you will feel stressed. Of course, it's normal, okay, or you feel overwhelmed with a lot of things. And, all these things suddenly just come out of nowhere, that kind of feeling. But with all the support from the people, okay, the people around us, the culture we have, the colleagues I have, and even for me, because I am one of their scholar, I have like a group of scholar friends. We call ourselves scholar friends, a scholar family, okay. So like with these people around me, I feel very like I'm not alone. I will feel like I'm not alone. I will feel that today if anything happened to me, I have this scholar family to go to, I have these people to get advice from, because there are a lot of there are some that are more senior than us, or some of them are our juniors lah. But I can talk to my senior scholar friends and ask them, why is it like this? Why is this going on and stuff like that? And then they can advise us, and then they can just help us to just talk to us and help us to be more released, with all the stress, and maybe sometimes go and play together, the kind of feeling. Like we have all this leadership program, okay, for our scholar family. So for with that, this kind of programs run by HR, run by the scholar team, the community, it is very encouraging and very motivating. And of course for the MA as well in Great Eastern, the management associate like Arisha herself, they also have like a very strong bond and strong relationship, I would say. I think Arisha can actually relate to that. And I see a lot of them always have this kind of come along, get along to just share about work and share about what is happening with them. So although the journey is not like very, very smooth, or although the journey have its up and down, it is very important to have this kind of culture where you have a people community to support you when you feel very lost or demotivated. Yeah.
Yep. Kavina, do you want to say anything? Okay.
Yeah, okay. To add on with what Rachel has shared, right? Okay. I've only been here for like 9 months, so I'm still like a baby. I haven't reached my 1 year anniversary yet. So, but I think I would say like at the beginning it was definitely bumpy. Reason being, as compared to my internship experience and to my permanent placement, the level of exposure was very different in a sense. For my internship, I only was involved in a few specific tasks. But going into my permanent placement, I was introduced to many other processes, many other terms, like the full-on entire recruitment process, which at the beginning was a bit overwhelming for me. because I had to step in to support one of my colleagues who was on her maternity leave. And I was just like 2 weeks into my permanent placement, and I was like, oh, okay, I have to handle like about 40 hirings. And so it was overwhelming at first because there were a lot of things that I was not familiar yet. Like the hiring managers, the hiring manager for this department is hiring for what role, and who do I need to speak to, and what the process and all that. But the thing that made it easier was I had a very good team. And I have this one colleague, he will always like come by and he'll say, Kavina, you okay? He'll just ask that, are you okay? But that one sentence, right? It was something that really gave me a sense of feeling that everything will be okay. If there is a problem, if there is a mistake, if there's something that I didn't know, there's someone there who is ready to advise me, to guide me, to support. That makes a difference. And also, like how Rachel has mentioned that we have a GE Scholar family, we are a very close group of people. And I feel like, especially when days are tough, in the sense, stress is something that I think it comes apart with the work that we do. And the GE Scholar family has been a very, very good support system. Like we can just like Teams them and then just say like, hey, are you free for lunch? I need to talk to you. They'll be like, okay, let's go have lunch. And then we have a chat. It could be about work related or anything related to our personal lives and so on. But knowing that we have this safe space, right, gives us that feeling of like, yeah, everything will be okay. And it all boils down to the support system that you have in whatever setting that you're in, be it in university, in your personal life, your professional life. If you have the right group of people that you can click with, people who are there, who are genuinely there to support you, I think we will be able to strive and thrive in any environment. So support is really important, and I'm very grateful that Great Eastern provided that support. It could be like I used to have every day after work, I will have like a 1 hour to 2 hour call session with my supervisor. Every day for 2 months, she will teach me the entire process, all the terms. If I don't know, she will teach me. And because of that, I would say that I've learned a lot over the 9 months as I was from the beginning. That made the difference. And my journey has been, I think, like I mentioned at the beginning itself, it's been very meaningful. I'm learning a lot of things. One thing I really like is collaborating with the other teams in human capital. And like I've worked with Arisha for the career fairs and all that. And and we are working together for another company program. Like I've worked together with L&D before. And so it's very fun, when you're doing your daily work, but then also you get to explore other initiatives and be a part of other activities. And that makes it more interesting. It adds a little spice into your life and like, woo, okay, it's not just the routine work. I have projects as well that keeps it exciting. So that's how my 9 months so far has been with Great Eastern.
Great. I think the three of you mentioned the same point, which is having a good environment and having a good support system is very crucial, actually. When we're a fresh grad, we're very new, we're scared, So having like the right support system is important when we're working. All right, so moving on to the next question. In your opinion, what was the best part about your decision? Maybe Rachel or Arisha?
Right. I will go first. I was thinking like my best part of this decision, I suppose, is to choose Great Eastern, right? So for me personally, before I actually came into, Great Eastern, I was quite lost, honestly. Like when I was in uni and when I was applying for my degree, that phase lah. Okay, let's talk about throwback all the way 2-3 years ago. Okay, and being very lost and confused. I know I just want to do something that I love, and I know I want to explore things that I have interest on, like in interest at, like, in a way. So at the time I found this Great Eastern's scholarship program, and while I was reading, I find this place very nice and fun and very encouraging and very positive, because for me, I wanted to do communications, I mean comms lah, and a lot of scholarships that I found online, they don't cover communications per se. So when I first see, okay, that was how I first know about I mean, I know Great Eastern is an insurance company, but I didn't really go look through it, like what's happening and all stuff. So at the time when I first see that, wow, Great Eastern actually provide and offers, scholarship to all different fields of people. Like, they don't care whoever you are, whatever you do, they believe everyone have their own strength and capability. And hence, I find this something that is very interesting, and it makes me feel like, Great Eastern is actually a company that care about people. People, they care about what you love, what you do, and stuff like that. And they don't just merely look at your results or your curriculum or whatsoever. They look at your personality, they look at your traits, they look at your real you lah. So for me, that is something that makes me feel like, okay, this is not bad. I mean, not bad, but like time when I applied stuff, and when I first joined, I realized that one thing about having all this decision made was they really care about what you do and what you love. Because when the HR person approached me, she was asking, like, what do you want to do, or what kind of field you want to be at Great Eastern, that kind of thing. So I guess the best decision I can think of so far is that the HR was telling me about, what SBDU does and what SBDU is as a unit, that kind of thing. And then I chose and I selected this team. And when I first came in, although it was a bit bumpy, I realized this is somewhere where I want to be for, at least few years time, because there are a lot of things, a lot of different exposures at this place, right? So I guess that is for me.
All right. So maybe either Arisha or Kavina, what do you think? Like, how can other talent find and choose their pathway?
Okay, maybe I can just go a bit, and then Kavina can add on because both of us have different experience when it comes to choosing our pathway. Like for me, especially with my case, when you're not sure, you're not 100% there on what you want to pursue, I really hope that you take your time when it comes to deciding. Make sure you do your sufficient research, because sometimes the one that is waiting for you is out there. You just need to take your time, find it, be patient with yourself, take some time to understand yourself, where you want to be in the long term. And sometimes, finding the culture that is suitable for you can help you find what you're actually passionate about. Because like sometimes it is the people that make the work enjoyable. It's not necessarily, I want to do only the work that I enjoy. Doesn't matter the people that I'm surrounded with. Sometimes it's really not the case. Like the people that I'm surrounded by makes my work enjoyable. And I think, especially working with Kavina, I work with Kavina a lot. And it's all about teamwork when it comes to, especially project-based work. Those are the type of work where you really depend on your coworkers. And having the right kind of people around you is the one where encourages you to find what you like. So, take your time. And some cases, the culture might not fit you, and it's totally understandable. It's totally normal. And even in Great Eastern, sometimes, the culture might not suit you, and it is fine. And the main thing is you find who you want to be surrounded by and who you want to be in the long run, as in your future. Like what makes you want to improve yourself and be better. So yeah, I hope the fresh graduates really don't stress yourself in terms of, okay, this is the ultimate future that I'm going to choose. It's always a constant change or constant state of improving. So it might not be what you expect it to be. The future might surprise you, to be honest. So yeah. Kavina, if you want to add on, go ahead.
I absolutely agree with what Arisha has actually shared. To highlight again, the first about taking your time. And I think that's extremely important because I feel like we are living in an era, right, where everything it's a digital era, right? So things are moving very fast. Informations are just at our fingertips. But because we are moving so fast, the tendency to feel that I need to get a job the moment I graduate or even before I graduate. And if you see your friends getting a job and then you feel even more pressure, like, oh, why am I not getting a job and all that? And sometimes because of that, we settle for opportunities that may not be in line with what we truly want to do, which can take a toll on us in the months or years to come. So do definitely take your time to actually really look into what exactly do you want to do. And even if you don't know what you want to do, I always believe that by finding something that is in line with your values, and as how Aisha put it, the culture itself, the values that are integrated into the culture makes a difference. If you're pursuing a role that is totally not in line with your values, it's not a right choice. If it's you're doing a role that is totally in line with your values, you will be in harmony. You will find purpose in that job. You will find that your work is impactful. If you don't know what you want to do, look back at your values. Find what fits you. Find what resonates you. Maybe you don't have words to describe your values, but just at an emotional level, you will know in your heart what feels right. What and then that's extremely important. And also I do believe it's by speaking to people will give you an opportunity to know what's out there. Sometimes we may feel that, okay, I studied this is the only few options I have. But we forget that certain skills, certain knowledge that we have can be transferred into other fields of work, which we didn't know existed before. But by speaking with people, it could be even to your parents or to your friends, your lecturers, or your friends' parents, or even experts itself will give you that opportunity to know that there's more. Maybe I can try out for other things as well. Who knows? I resonate well with that role. So have a casual conversation. You don't need to prepare your resume or anything specific to speak to people. Just a casual conversation. What do you think about this? And be open to hear what people have to say. You don't need to take it personally, take it to heart, but being open will give you that opportunity to learn more. And I believe it will help you to maybe not identify, okay, this is exactly what I want to do, but it'll give you more opportunities, more pathways to explore. And I also believe if let's say you do venture into something and you feel it's not right, it's okay to explore other places as well. Do not limit yourself to just one. There are many possibilities out there. So yeah, so that's all for me.
Very, very well explained. All right. I think now we can move on to the questions from the audience. So we have a question here from Taufik. He wants to know, he said, I'm wondering, when you're out of ideas and insights about what you want to be, how do you find inspirations, clues, and get whatever is necessary to make a good decision? Anybody wants to answer that? Wants to take that?
I guess I'll take that Taufik, right? I think I can relate to you in some ways because previously I had a hard time choosing my degree. Okay, prior to my degree, I took foundation course foundation program, and even because people always say that if having a foundation, you can think of what you want to do, think of the ways how you want to venture in on later years kind of thing. But at that point, I was also very lost for my degree. I was like really, I don't know what is going on. I don't know if this is the right path or stuff like that. And at that point, at that time, I try to get as many different views or different perspectives as possible, in a way where I won't get influenced by what people say, but I will come up with my own views and I come up with my own stand, okay, and my own perspective. Then only I go and find from people. So let's talk about in a skill of, like, let's say work lah, huh? If you are very lost, you don't know, or you're very confused on the things that you want to do, I feel like one thing that for me personally, if people ask me or people tell me this is their problem, the one thing that I would tell these people are to join MA program, okay, management associate program or management trainee program or whatever you call it. Like, Great Eastern, you have our own MA programs. I know some other companies who have that also, like other corporate company, like the bigger corporate companies. Let's not talk about agency or the smaller one, because for me, MA program is something that can help you to at least identify or at least know that what you want to do, because you are learning from different departments. I think Arisha can share more later on this part. Like, we all learn from different departments, and from there you will actually know what you want to do, what you want to learn, or what you want to at least do more or work more at, that kind of thing. Okay, so MA program is one goal. Secondly, is to talk to lecturers lah. Lecturers are always those that have already experienced a lot, and then they have seen a lot of the people that we can actually go to. Okay, so some of your close lecturers, maybe you can talk to them and at least get them to share on their views on this kind of thing. And thirdly, I guess, to listen to yourself. I'm sure every time you make a decision, there is always an answer already. It's just that you don't want to fully accept it, or if you don't want to fully acknowledge it, you want to listen from other people first. So I guess one thing that you can really do is to listen to yourself. If it's already like at a 60-40%, that kind of thing, right? Yeah.
Yes, to just add on very quickly to Rachel's answer, yes, the Management Associate Program is one of the suggested pursuit for, sorry, I forgot his name. Is it Taufik? Yes, Taufik. Okay. Because in a sense where when it comes to rotating departments, it's a conversational base, because every time I want to rotate a different department, I would always have a conversation with my supervisor from the L&D team, like, what is the job scope in that department? Like, what am I expected to do? And not only that, I do contact my senior MAs, the ones that had been rotating in that department, to gain their experience, to ask them, okay, how is the environment like? How is the working environment like? What is the pace? Fully understand before I make the decision on really rotating that department. So in that sense, I would have like an inkling when I come to the department. So I'm not blindsided in a sense. So it's always important to find out everything that you can before you go diving into it, so that when you are actually in it, you are able to understand. All right, I expected some form of this matter to happen. I expected this type of workload to also be put on me. So you're ready, but you are still surprised by the type of work, of course, because you've never done it before. But you're ready in a sense. Okay, I'm mentally prepared to handle whatever's thrown at me.
All right, so Taufik, I hope that answers your question. All right, so we actually received quite a lot of questions, but I think due to time, we'll answer one more last question. All right, so this question is from Aisha. She asks, when talking about passion and work, we'll definitely face some stress throughout the journey. So how do you personally handle your stress, and what tips can you give to us who's going to start our journey with Great Eastern?
Kavina, you want to take that one?
Okay. Thank you, Aisha, for that very relevant question. Okay, I think in terms of managing tough times, right? Throughout my 9 months as well, there were also very difficult days, especially when you're trying to understand what does this process means and this term, what do I need to do and all that. Sometimes it's very blurry and that can cause stress as well. Having a breather is something really important, because when you're stressed, your perspective is very limited. You only see what's the problem. You will not be able to look at the possible opportunities, the possible solutions towards solving whatever that's causing you stress. So having that breather actually gives you to calm down, gives you a moment to pause and to really just take a break. Give yourself that break. And how I do it is I run a lot. Arisha knows. I run a lot, and running has been my way of just making sure that I have my dose of endorphins, dopamine that's pumping in me, so that I feel good and all that before I tackle my work. So there are days also, if like I'm working from home, if I feel stressed up about the work, I'll take that break. Like at 5 something, I'll go for a run, come back, and then I feel like more relaxed, more composed to take on that job again, to take on that task and see it to its completion. So finding, for me it was running, but for you, Aisha, find what brings you joy, genuine joy, that is not work related. It could be as simple as maybe you're the type of person that likes to go cafe hopping. Make it a point to do that on a weekly basis, or even whenever you feel like you feel down, go get yourself your favorite cake or your favorite coffee. Go explore. So find what gives you joy and make it a priority to have it in your lifestyle, in your professional lifestyle. The second is, I always believe in communication. When you're stressed up, speak with someone that you trust and who will be able to provide you that support. Maybe not someone who can provide you that like a solution, but someone who can even just lend you their shoulders for you to share what you have been going through. And I think that's extremely important. It can be your colleagues, it can be your friends, it can be even your family. Anyone that you feel comfortable with, always have that support system, and it really makes a difference for that. And yeah, I think those are the 2 things that I would highlight. Like, find something that gives you joy and make it a part of your lifestyle. Use it to give yourself a breather. Second is communicate. And yeah, and I hope all the best for you, Aisha. And if you do join Great Eastern, looking forward to meet you.
Right, I was about to say that. Welcome to Great Eastern. Welcome aboard.
Kavina will be the first face you'll see.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it, Aisha. That's the answer to your question. The main point is to just take a break whenever you feel stressed, whenever you feel you can't handle anything, take a break.
Yeah, mindfulness is very important.
Yes, agreed. All right, so with that, I think that wraps up the session for today. I would have to say that it was a very, very interesting session we had, and I'm pretty sure the audience agrees to it too, and you answered most of the questions well. So thank you to all of the speakers for a very insightful session, for sharing your experiences and answering the questions. And also, maybe we hope to hear from you guys again, maybe in the webinar in the near future. You don't know, right? Yeah. So also, before we end, to all of the viewers, don't forget to vote for Great Eastern as Malaysia's most preferred employer for Gradan Brands Award at brands-awards.gradan.com. Sorry for that. But yeah, don't forget to vote, okay? So, and also if you're looking for a career opportunities with Great Eastern, do visit their virtual booth. All right, and with that, that's the end of the webinar session. So stay tuned for our next session, which will be featuring Aziata at 1:30 p.m. So go grab your lunch first, and we'll see you in a bit. Bye.